You drive into the paint, lose the ball, get yelled at. The space on the court starts to look smaller and smaller. Your confidence in your ability to drive goes down. In this video, I'm going to go through the 5 things that I would include in a workout to get you out of this vicious cycle and start making plays for yourself and your teammates in the paint.
Good drills work.
If you work. So when I first started playing basketball in 9th grade, I didn't even know how to drive or what driving even was, actually. I would dribble, and if I got cut off ever in an actual game or practice or training, I would just turn my back or retreat. I first noticed someone drive from watching Kobe in NBA 2K, 10 or 11 actually, I'm old. I was fascinated that he was able to just dribble, and then he was able to keep his dribble alive even if there was someone there. It was just astonishing. And I think that there's so many players today that don't know what driving actually is. Because what I see out of most players in training is that they retreat or turn their back, just as I did, when they dribble to a spot and somebody is there rather than actually driving. They don't completely commit to a direction and they get pushed off the line that connects them to the hoop so much that there's no way they can drive in actual games against actual defenders because there's just not enough time and space to get to where you need to go. This is the big reason why players can't drive in games or they're afraid to drive in games because they are unwilling to get into the body of other players because this is the only way that you can get space in about 90% of situations, especially in a half-court setting. But if you watch the players that are able to make plays in the paint, what do? They are capable enough with their body, their mind, their emotion to find a play to be able to play through contact. And they don't only play through contact, but a lot of times they go out and seek contact because they know inherently that many times it is an absolute necessity for them to get to where they want to go on the court. So yes, there are 5 things that I'm going to explain to you about how to get into the paint better, but all of these things relate to the fact that you need to be making contact with other players on the court. So these 5 things are going to help you make contact with players on the court, play through that contact, and then get you in the paint to make plays for you and your teammates. The first thing that you need to be able to play through contact in games is trust with the ball. If you have trust with the ball, ultimate trust with the ball, you're not afraid if you're going to lose the ball. There's no way anybody's going to be able to take the ball from you regardless of the situation. If you have this level of confidence in your ability to handle the ball, then you are going to be confident enough to not lose the ball when you make contact with somebody else. So there's 2 things that I want you to think about here. Actually being physically strong. You see a lot of the best players, a lot of the best guards, some of them have a lot of strength in their upper body, a lot of strength throughout their entire body, where if somebody's trying to take the ball from them, they could just fend them off, hand swipes, all these different things. They are physically capable to just handle pressure because they're stronger than other people. So that's huge. So strength training, all that is super important for your ability to handle the ball and trust your handles in games. The other thing for trusting your handles when it comes to playing through contact is just being able to keep the ball up with your body. A lot of people don't have that speed with the ball because their training doesn't push them to go faster. Their training is something that most of the time they're just doing repetitively every single day to check the box off of, I got in my 1,000 stationary ball handlings, I did 2 ball handlings together, all that stuff. It's not bad. I'm telling you, it's not bad. But the thing about it is if you keep doing that over and over and over again, eventually you're just going to be on a path of doing something that's comfortable and tricking yourself to thinking that you're working hard at something that's not comfortable. But at the end of the day, if you're doing things where you have to keep the ball up with your body and you're pushing your speed as fast as you possibly can, this will ensure that you are constantly improving your ability to keep the ball up with your body, without a doubt. Those 2 things to trust the ball, being physically strong with your body, strength training, all of that is super important to include in a workout. And then the other thing to trust yourself with the ball is to be able to keep the ball up with your body. 2 huge things. The second thing you need to be able to play through contact, get in the paint, and make plays for your teammates is moving well. So we talked about dribbling, right? Your ability to handle the ball. But now if you are unable to keep your body down and move well, then anybody can bump you off. If I'm staying straight up and somebody tries to push me, I'm going to get tumbled over, right? Because there's just more torque. If you're pushing me from my chest and I'm standing tall, I'm going to go down. But if you're closer to the ground as you're driving, you're impossible to bump, right? Think about Jalen Brunson. Think about any small guard that you know, and a lot of them have a really good ability to get into the paint and make plays because they are unable to get pushed off their line. They are unable to get pushed off their line because they're lower to the ground. So if your center of gravity is lower to the ground as you're driving forward, it's too hard to push you. Way too hard to push you. Body to the ground, huge. Moving well, huge. Another thing when it comes to moving well for your ability to play through contact is to be able to get your shins close to the ground before you step. So this ability allows you to play low on the move. A lot of people train playing low in a stationary manner. They train playing low in like a sumo stand squat and practice ball handling and think that they're working hard at dribbling low, but that's not actually how you move low in game. So there's no translation. In actual games, when you're moving low, it's shins to the ground. You watch any good ball handler play, any good driver, they're able to play at the ground while they're moving forward. So this requires you to be able to get your shins close to the ground. You're going to be able to stay low as you're moving forward. You're not going to get pushed off the line. Huge for being able to play through contact. So that's the second one. Check it off the list. Now, the third thing that I would include in a workout to help you play through contact and get in the paint is just practicing driving. A lot of people do all of these things by themselves, which is good. But if you're not going up against real defenders in your training where you have an opportunity to fail outside of the game, then once you get into the game, you're not going to feel like you're confident. You're going to feel scared. You're going to feel like you've never done this before. But if you're doing it against actual defenders by yourself, you're with your buddy, you're with somebody else that's maybe better than you, stronger than you, and you fail a lot and you're trying different things and you're pushing into an uncomfortable zone against live defenders, that's going to make you feel more prepared for the actual game, right? You're doing the test in your training. So off the dribble, off the catch, all different types of scenarios are critical for you to feel prepared in your training, for you to actually feel prepared to drive in games against contact. More specifically, when you're doing these drills, there's so many, right? I post them all the time on short form on Instagram and TikTok and here on YouTube Shorts. You could do all different types of things, but sometimes what I notice out of players is that there has to be a deliberate focus to push into things that are uncomfortable if it is required for you to actually get the job done. When I'm with players and we're doing a live finishing drill where they have to get into the paint, play through contact, and they're forced to do so, a lot of times they still avoid it. They are willing to lose the drill and be non-competitive, not trying to win, so that they don't lose the ball even in their training. So if you're somebody that's afraid to lose the ball in training and you're not trying things because you're afraid to lose the ball, then what do you think is going to happen in the game? You shouldn't feel entitled to confidence in the game if you're not willing to do things even in training when the stakes are so low. So really have a concept of when you're driving in training, where are you racing to, right? You should be looking for open space and do whatever it takes to get to the space that you want to get to, regardless of who's there. If you lose the ball in these situations, keep losing the ball and figure it out until you don't lose the ball. This is how you actually get better for driving through contact, getting in the paint, and making plays. Go into the uncomfortable, especially while you are training. This is the time. So the third thing to play through contact, get in the paint, check it off the list. Now, the fourth thing that I want you to include in a workout to help you play through contact is doing drills that require you to find contact. Have the intention on finding somebody's body. So again, live finishing drill with somebody else included, and the drill needs to be set up in such a way where you are required to find them first before finishing or before getting into the paint. However the structure is, again, I'm giving you the general outline. I'm not giving you specific drills right here. I have specific drills on my page. I have specific drills for these situations inside Good Drills, the Good Drill system, that are clearly lined out and everything is included in them. But this is just the general tip right now of just, you have to set up drills, be creative to find contact before finishing. Make it something that is unavoidable in your training. So not just playing through contact, you have to intentionally go make contact with somebody as a part of the drill in order to win the drill. There's many ways to do that. Again, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, post tons of drills about it. You could comment below. Good Drill System has everything laid out with all these types of drills to make sure that you are attacking the things you need to be attacking, regardless of if it's uncomfortable or not, so that you could play well in actual games. The link is in the description of this video if you're interested, so you could check that out. And the fifth and final thing that I would include for somebody that wants to play through contact, to get in the paint, make plays for themselves and their teammates, is simply watch film, right? Go watch somebody that inspires you as far as aggression, as far as playing through contact, as far as just being an absolute savage on the court with the ball in their hands. Think about Russell Westbrook on the Thunder, right? He is downhill. He's going full speed. It doesn't matter who's in front of him. He is barreling them over. If they try to cut him off, he's blowing up the hip. He's just playing through that contact, right? There's a level of aggression that you can add to your game. I want you to go find these players that you're thinking about. Find somebody. Go watch how they maneuver, especially when you slow down the game and you see the close-up highlights that sometimes they show on TV. You see how much contact there is that they're facing, right? They're not avoiding anything. Your problem is that you avoid things. Go watch the best guards play. They don't avoid contact. It's a necessary thing to overcome and play through and seek out if you want to be good at this game. Watch Russell Westbrook, watch LeBron James, watch Anthony Edwards. Too many people on the court, right? And there's not enough space. You have to play through people. No way around it. And a quick analogy that I want to give before tying this thing all up together is that imagine you have on a scale, this is golf, right? And this is football, okay? So golf, football. Where do you think basketball should lie on the scale when it comes to how much contact there is in the sport, right? Football is a lot of contact. Golf, there's no contact. People would say, oh, it's somewhere in the middle, but it's not, right? Basketball is probably way closer to the football side than the golf side, right? There's so much contact. Just think about that. There is so much contact because basketball is a contact sport. Frame it that way. Understand that basketball is a contact sport. Start seeking out contact in your training, in your games. Stop being afraid, right? It's okay that you hit somebody. It's a part of the game. Take those 5 things. If you can't take all of them, take some of them. Incorporate them into your training, into your life, into your routine. It's going to help you play through contact. You're going to make plays in the paint. You're not going to be afraid to drive in games anymore. Do them. I'm telling you. Don't just watch videos and think you're getting better. Actually apply the things that I'm telling you in these videos. That's it for this one. So make sure to like and subscribe. Big buttons here. Check out Good Drills. It's in the description below. We have the whole system outlined for you, exactly what to do to dominate in actual games. Everything, including strength training, movement, vertical jump, all of that is outlined perfectly inside the Good Drills system. So that link's in the description. See you in the next video.